What's up, YouTube? Getting ready to leave right now. Heading back to the village. Let's go to Africa. Again. How many of you guys sing in the car? I don't sing too much if I'm with other people. But if I'm by myself, like my trip somewhere, especially a long one like this, is composed entirely of singing along to the music that comes up on the iPod. You guys do that? Because surely I'm not the only one. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like birds singing in the dead of night. Lee, 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 lee. Drink breath, look at it, how you feel. You put left leg down, your right leg up, till your head back, let's finish the cup. I get this righteous block, it comes as quite a shock. And now I'm stuck between the hard place and the biggest rock. We think that we're important, and we think that we make sense. So here I am, doing everything I can. Too much sex, too little Jesus. What would Brian Boitano do if he were here right now? He'd make a plan and he'd follow through. That's what Brian Boitano do. I'm not sick, but I'm not well, and I'm so hard, 'cause I'm in hell. So yeah, as you can tell, I like to sing along. Yeah, just this little sign lets you know that down this dirt road is this village, as seen on TV, of course.
Hello, cool. Hello, cool. Any y'all in there?
Well, all done with filming for good, hopefully. Everyone's going to get all the footage that they can to me tonight, and I'm going to put it all on the DVD, or two, depending on how many it takes to fit, and then I'm going to deliver that to the writer, who will watch the footage and create a script out of that, who will then give me the script so I can create the documentary. It's a process. The cinematographer brought over the footage, and I got all the footage from him, but he reminded me that we have a rough cut that's due on Wednesday, and we don't have the script done, so it's going to be very hard to do anything because I need to get some sort of outline, and that's in like 3 days, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to finish editing like any sort of rough cut by Wednesday. That just seems incredibly impossible to me. So I called him and left a message like, hey, make an outline quick, please. So he's going to get that to me maybe. I don't even know what's going on. Luke! A little update while I make some ramen. The plan as of right now is to have the producer provide me a narration track, and I'm going to build the movie off of that. You know, just kind of work around that. We'll just assume that everything's going to work out fine. Either way, I have a feeling that I'm probably not going to be uploading vlogs for a while. Also, we shot some of the stuff on a Canon 5D. Go to YouTube and look up stuff with the Canon 5D or 7D. It's amazing. Also, double ramen. Hello and welcome to 2 a.m. cooking lessons with me. We're going to make sweet tea, and a lot of people know that like people in the South drink sweet tea, but they don't know how to make it.
Heck yeah!
And Dan's never made sweet tea, and I normally make sweet tea, so I'm going to teach Dan how to make sweet tea, and you guys get to learn how to make sweet tea too. Cooking with Steven.
Boil the water, add the tea, put some sugar in there.
Shh. Don't listen to Mr. Poopy Pants. Let's do it step by step so you understand how to do it.
Step 1, boil the water. Step 2, put the tea in there. Step 3, add some sugar.
Alright, shut up, I hate you. You need a pitcher that will hold a gallon of liquid, like this one. You'll know.
Or you could just make less than a gallon.
Shut up!
Okay.
Okay, so this is a gallon.
What if you're making 2 gallons?
You need a pot that can hold a gallon of water. This one actually can only hold 3/4, so we're only using 3/4.
How many?
And then we'll add the last bit later. Anyway, you're gonna need 8 tea bags for a gallon. Common thing that you want to know is that they have the regular size and then they have family size. Family size is pretty much like 2 of these. So 2 of these is equal to 1 of these. So we're going to use 4 of these and 2 of these, and that's pretty much the same. What I like to do is tie them all together.
Do you just throw this in the water?
Huh? Yeah, put that in the water.
You just throw it in there.
Yeah,
like
just
you...
put it in there. That's what the knot was for. What you want to do is crank this sucker up, because it doesn't matter. So we just crank it up to 9. One thing about tea is that you gotta steep it. So we're gonna take a little rod here, which is this knife, and then what we do is we put it under this, and that's how you have access. See, and then it's steeping. You're doing it right if the water turns brown. Okay, so we got the tea up in there. Now while this is heating up and boiling, which it's not yet, but give it time, we're going to go ahead and get the sugar ready. Now for a gallon, I usually use 2 cups of sugar, which is that entire thing. And to a lot of people out there, that might seem like a lot, and it is. So if 2 doesn't float your boat, drop it down to 1.5. You can also go up to as much as 2.5. But for every half cup you add, that's 1 year sooner that you get diabetes. So just be mindful of that. Okay, now that might scare some of you. That is how much sugar goes into 1 gallon of tea. That's a lot of sugar, but deal with it. This is what the South is made of, sugar and ranch. Look at us, we steeping. This actually isn't that important anymore. Basically what we're waiting on at this point is for the water to start boiling. Once the water starts boiling, we'll probably leave it in just another minute or so, and then we'll take these tea bags out.
Tea bag.
And then we'll put in the sugar. And then we'll stir it, and then that's it. That's pretty much it.
Tea bag.
It's actually impossible to mess this up. Even if you took it out at this point before it boiled, like it wouldn't kill it. If you left it in while it was boiling, it wouldn't kill it. Like you can't mess this up. So at this point, there's a lot of little bubbles coming up and the steam's coming up, so it's pretty much ready to be doing the done. If you want unsweet tea, congratulations, you made unsweet tea. You can stop now. If you want sweet tea, well, there's one other step.
So much sugar.
Okay. As far as for when the sugar is dissolved, well, if the water's boiling, it's dissolved. But also you can scrape your utensil along the bottom, and you can pretty much tell. Like if you add sugar to cereal, you can scrape it with your spoon, and you can tell what's in there. Well, the difference is cereal is cold, and this is hot, so it dissolves. So you shouldn't be able to feel that, probably very shortly. And at this point, there's bubbles and stuff. It's done. It's really there's no sugar on the bottom. It was pretty much gone as soon as we put it in there because it was so hot. And if you remember, this was only 3/4 of a gallon, so we actually will have to add a little more to it. But we're gonna go ahead and turn this off. Okay, so now we have to transfer this to that. I recommend putting the pitcher in the sink like that. You don't want the liquid to touch you because it will hurt. Alternatively, you can just leave it sit here, unless you want to drink it sooner. I would recommend pouring away from you. Okay, so what I normally do is if you want to drink it sooner, I put ice in it instead of water, and then it helps to cool it down. So anyway, yeah, just fill it up because you got to remember there was a 1/4 of a gallon missing, so you have to fill that back up so then the tea water ratio is equal. Otherwise, it's going to be really strong tea. But that's how you make sweet tea. This has been a Cooking with Steven production on how to make the most difficult thing in the world, sweet tea. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Steven.